Imagine waking up tomorrow and the news is everywhere. Missiles are flying across the Middle East, oil prices are skyrocketing, world leaders are calling emergency meetings, and suddenly the two countries at the center of all are Iran and United States. A war between these two nations would not just be another regional conflict, it could reshape the global economy, destabilize the entire region, and possibly drag multiple countries into a much bigger war. But the real question is, how did we get here? How did we get here? The tension between Iran and the United States did not start yesterday. To understand this rivalry, we have to go back to 1979, during the Iranian Revolution. Before the revolution was ruled by the Shah, a leader who had strong support from United States and Western countries. But many Iranians believed the Shah was too closely tied to the Western powers and was ignoring the needs of his own people. When revolution happened, the Shah was overthrown and Iran became an Islamic republic. Shortly after that, Iranian students stormed the US embassy in Tehran and held American diplomats hostage for 444 days. That moment completely destroyed relationships between the two countries. From that point on, distrust, sanctions, and threats became the new normal. It became the new normal. So one of the biggest reasons tensions remain high today in Iran's nuclear program. Iran insists that its nuclear program is for peaceful purposes like energy and scientific research. However, the United States and several Western allies believe Iran could eventually develop nuclear weapons. The disagreement has led to years of negotiations, sanctions, and international pressure. In 2015, Iran signed a major agreement with world powers called the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action. The deal limited Iran's nuclear activities in exchange for relief from economic sanction. But the government later collapsed when the United States withdrew from the deal during the presidency of Donald Trump. Since then, tensions have steadily increased. So guys, if a war ever broke out between Iran and the United States, it would be one of the most uneven military matchups in the world. As it is happening right now, guys, the United States has the most powerful military on the planet. It has advanced fighter jets, aircraft carriers, stealth bombers, and military bases across the globe. Iran, on the other hand, does not have the same level of technology or global reach, but Iran has developed a strategy designed specifically for to encounter stronger enemies. Instead of fighting a traditional war, Iran focuses on asymmetric warfare. This includes ballistic missiles, drones attacks, cyber warfare, and support for elite militias across the region. Groups in countries like Iraq, Lebanon, and Yemen could become parts of the conflict, and suddenly the battlefield would spread far beyond Iran itself. So guys, it's really happening. Another reason why this conflict matters so much to the world is oil. Iran sits next to one of the most important shipping routes on the planet, the Straits of Hormuz. This narrow underway connects the Persian Gulf to the rest of the world. Every single day, a huge percentage of the world's oil supply passes through this route. If Iran decided to block or disrupt this passage during a war, the global economy could feel the shock almost instantly. Fuel prices could skyrocket, stock market could crash, and many countries would suddenly find themselves facing energy crisis. Yeah. The Middle East is already one of the most complex geopolitical regions in the world. If a war started between Iran and the United States, other nations might also become involved. For example, Israel has long viewed Iran as one of its biggest security threats. Meanwhile, global powers like Russia and China have strategic relationships with Iran. While they may not directly enter the war, their political and economic support could influence how the conflict unfolds. This is why many experts worry that a regional conflict could slowly expand into something much larger. You know, a war between Iran and the United States would not be simple. It would not end quickly. Like, for example, guys, what's happening currently, it's been days, now we're going into weeks, and it would not stay limited to just two countries. The consequences could affect global energy markets, international security, and the lives of millions of people around the world, which raises an important question. If a conflict like this would be so dangerous for everyone involved, why do tensions keep rising? And more importantly, are we moving closer to the war or further away from it? Guys, let me know what you think in the comments. If you think a war between Iran and the United States will eventually stop, or will actually stop, or is it a political pressure and strategic posturing? Or if you enjoy geopolitical content like this, don't forget to subscribe and join the Kingsman community. Thank you.